Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Road to Emmaus podcast. Today, government grocery stores may be on the way. People go barking mad as we answer the question, who let the dogs out? And flu season or COVID season, scientists can't tell apart anymore. Today on the Road to Emmaus podcast, the woke world news. That's right, woke world news, the news you wish was unreliable. Absolutely. But Jules, unfortunately it is.
Yep,
So
100% real.
yeah, unfortunately. And today we got a couple of cringeworthy ones that it's like, oh, come on. I mean, and again, just like we say every time, it's like surprising, but not surprising, right? It's
Mhm.
just, okay, yeah, it's all totally not surprised. Right? Shocking, but not surprising. But today, as we go through our current events, of course, we want to, pay in mind to biblical truths. Like, why are we seeing this in this woke, crazy world? And we have to understand this is just what was destined to happen because the coming of the Lord is judgment is coming upon the earth. This reprobate mind is becoming more and more apparent, and that's what we're seeing in the news. As we look at this, all it is just the reprobate mind
Mhm.
coming to fruition as we get closer and closer to the day of the Lord. So as we see it, don't get discouraged. Get excited because that means, even though how cringe it is to see, it really means that we're getting closer. Right, Jules? Amen.
That's right. And often or before, I used to think, what exactly does reprobate mind mean? So, especially when you look at the original description, reprobate, what does that mean exactly? But really, all you need to do to understand what it is, just turn on the news, and you will see whatever's happening that doesn't make sense anymore. It's not only makes you cringe, it makes you want to cry, and and all sorts of negative emotions running in your in your mind and in your heart. That's really because you're seeing something that is reprobate. It really goes against logic, goes against common sense, and of course it goes against everything that we hold near and dear,
Mhm.
especially for those who have biblical Christian values.
When I was when before I was a believer, I which wasn't that long ago. And before I was a believer, I used to see this stuff and I used to get angry. But now it's like when you see it in the light of Jesus, when you see it in the light of the gospel, when you see it in the light
Mhm.
of prophecy, you start realizing that okay, that yeah, you have that peace that really just passes all understanding because of the fact that you know what this is. It's not just the world going crazy. It's not disorder, it's actually order. It's
Mhm.
actually what is bound to happen,
Mhm.
and it is just showing that God is in control. But here on the woke world news, we kind of like to just take a moment just to kind of laugh at a couple of things, kind of smack our head about a couple of things, and also cringe at a couple of things as we bring to light what is going on before the days of the coming of Christ. So, the first one, I mean, we kind of all expected this one, right? I mean, the first one, we'll show this. Anthony Fauci and his wife netted 2 million during COVID pandemic, record shows, and are now worth $11 million.
Woohoo!
Huh.
Who
Yeah.
knew?
I
Yeah.
wonder how did they
Wow.
what when all the government was shut down,
Uh-huh.
how did they get so rich?
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
and they
all
worked for the government.
yeah, and all he wanted, no, was for everyone to abide by the rules. Stay
Mhm.
indoors, don't go out of your homes. Always wear your mask, even if you're all alone. you know, even if you're standing in bright sunlight, you still need to wear your mask. And yet, such a good and kind heart, and yet
I know.
he they made bank for some reason.
They made bank. I mean, not only
Uh-huh.
them, but every politician. And you know what? Some of the ones I'm shocked that are coming out
I
that
wonder
are
why.
they really didn't make that much. Like in comparison to like, buyout, like you just sold your soul kind of deal, right? They really didn't make that much. Some of them just like got like a 500,000 or something like that. Man, that can't even pay for your house in
Mhm.
DC. And
Mhm.
yet that's what you got paid off for.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Dr. Fauci, you gotta take the shot and you gotta double up the mask, for
Mhm.
the particles and stuff. Yeah, that guy, he was fun while he lasted, but yeah, now it's all coming out, and it turns out he actually funded, what is it, all the research in Wuhan. It turns out that that was
Mhm.
true,
Mhm.
but let's not be conspiracy theorists here. That's not what we do here. All right, we are a
Uh-huh.
family-based show, and we don't talk about this conspiracy theory nonsense. And all of you should
Uh-huh.
be ashamed of yourself if you think that this wasn't legitimate money here at the Road to Emmaus podcast. Okay, next one. So Justin Trudeau tells grocery stores to lower prices or he will tax them. So, so okay,
What?
you lower your prices or we'll tax you, which is going to cause you to raise your
Mhm.
prices.
Mhm.
That's yeah. I think here, just going out a whim here. All right, here's my prediction. I'm not a prophet, but here's my
Mhm.
prediction. He's going to raise the taxes anyway.
Yeah.
Can I just go out and say it that he's probably just going to do that? And
Mhm.
you know what? There is actually maybe a hidden agenda behind all this, Jules, and
Really?
it's coming up.
Wow.
Yes,
They're
I
not
know, I know.
altruistic? Really?
No, no, they're not just trying to take down the hierarchy and make it good for the people. No, there
Mhm.
might be a little bit of a plan going on
Wow.
here because in this next slide, I believe it's the next slide. Yes, Chicago mayor proposes city-owned grocery stores as Walmart, Whole Foods exits leave food desert. So,
Mhm.
okay, you wonder why these really liberal, evil managed states and communities like are allowing all this crime to come in and
Mhm.
just take charge and steal. And now Walmart, Target, Whole Foods are saying, "I'm out."
Yeah.
We can't do this. Or in places like California, they
Yeah.
just can't stay
Yeah.
there anymore because of all
Yep.
the high taxes.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
And
remember that
and
that video that we did on, downtown San Francisco? It used to be,
yeah, right.
it used to be a shopping district, especially for tourists who go there. It's a really great
Right.
place to go, to see all the sights. But now it's practically a ghost town.
Yeah, yeah, and you wonder and I've seen like conservative people like criticize these leaders, and they're saying, "Oh, how can they be that stupid and they're stupid and they're foolish and all." No. No, it's for a reason. It's a very well orchestrated plan.
Mhm.
And I think this kind of gives us a hint. If there is no grocery stores, it's okay. The government will come in and give you government grocery stores. And
Yep.
that's basically, communism. It was government funded. Look how well that fared for North Korea. They have
Mhm.
government grocery stores.
Mhm.
There's nothing in them, but they have them.
Yep.
So that's it's coming down the line.
Yep.
It's coming
And
down the
with
line.
government controlled uh grocery stores, supermarkets, um the keyword there is control. Is they now can control the population, because if you step out of line, then you will not be given access to food. So what do you
Mhm.
do? Do you want to go hungry? Will you allow your family go hungry just because of your political views? So those kinds of things may come into play. It's not something that's science fiction, or conspiracy theory again. But we've seen this happen, as you've said, in uh, communism, communist China,
Mhm.
Russia. We've seen it in North Korea. And
Yeah.
when the money runs out, when the government is unable to provide for the food, the means of their population, everybody goes hungry, which also has happened in the past, even for socialist communist countries.
Mhm. Yeah. And, I mean, but Jules, are you saying they won't be able to buy or sell? You know, I mean,
Exactly.
all my Revelation fans out there. Yeah, that's and that's the dangers of a communist,
Mhm,
country. Like we always think of like, people talk about a lot about communism and socialism and
mhm.
capitalism and all this kind of stuff. Man, guys, we got to start looking at the beast system.
Yep.
Beastism and not communism so much because it's all rooted in the same thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at what schools did. Everybody looks at America having this great school system, which it is. Okay, because I've been around the world and I've seen like third world countries that need to pay so much money that they don't have just for the kids to go to school. Meanwhile, in America, you can easily sign your kid for free on online schooling and it's perfectly free. But we're kind of reaping the rewards of government supplied education because they supply the education. And when
Mhm,
they want to start teaching your kids about, racism, cultural racism, if they want to teach your kids about LGBT, if they want to teach your
gender
kids
identity,
uh,
yeah.
or even evolution, like evolution, even know that that it's still just a theory and there's a lot of things going against it. They
Mhm,
still teach it like it's fact, and you need to teach it. And any teacher that tries to teach a creationist viewpoint is immediately fired, lose their
mhm,
tenure, whatever it is.
mhm.
So
Yep.
yeah, government owned grocery stores, I'm going to call no, but it doesn't matter what we call here because it's coming. I was just watching this guy. He gave a great commentary. LT at And We Know. He's not on YouTube anymore because
Mhm,
he's too legit. So he got kicked off a while ago. Um, you can find him on Rumble. Any of you And We Know fans, you know what I'm talking about. But he was playing this video where they were locking up all these items, locking up. You know what they do to stop theft? They have to lock all the items up. Everything from shampoo, from
mhm,
sugar, everything needs to be locked up. And you have to call the the teller, whatever it is. You have to
mhm,
call the associate to come over and unlock it for that particular item, and they go away, and then you have to call them again when you
mhm,
need help again. That's very inconvenient. But imagine this: imagine if all you had to do was scan a certain mark or scan an ID and it will open up for you. Oh, that's so much easier.
mhm.
Yeah, but maybe at some point it's going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you listen to the Road to Emmaus podcast. You can't buy this." Oh, you listen to that guy. You listen to Joe Rogan. Oh, you supported these people. You can't
Mhm,
buy this. And guys, it is coming. Let me encourage you. It's gonna get a lot worse. A lot worse. Yeah. So, but moving on, talk about getting worse. Okay, doctors admit they can't tell COVID apart from allergies or common cold anymore, highlighting how mild virus has become. Okay, they
'kay.
say that. Okay, they say that they can't tell anymore. I I don't know. I'm just going to go out on a limb there that they really could never have been able to tell the difference.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm just gonna say because where did the cold? Remember the massive exodus of the cold and flu during 2020. Remember that?
Yeah.
Nobody got the cold. Nobody got the flu. Everything was fine. No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's anything funny going on. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
right? For all you YouTube algorithms, I'm just saying it's kind of funny. Right? What do you think, Jules?
Yeah. And now that they're saying it's mild, I still have to wonder because in many countries they are still pushing that their citizens get the jab, get the treatment. And yet scientists are saying, it's like the common cold now. So why are we even having this conversation? And then we see like these politicians in Canada, they were doing a press conference and all of them were wearing masks. So I mean, what's the deal here? It it everything is contradicting. You really can't tell which is which anymore.
Well, my pastor, I was talking to my pastor, and he asked me. He says to me, he was Jason. Right now, the whole COVID thing is starting to ramp up again. And since you're staying in the Philippines for a while, how's the whole COVID thing going on over there? And I said, it's fine because it's not election season over here yet. And he started laughing because, yeah, that's absolutely true. It's like as soon as it's getting election 2024 is getting closer,
Mhm,
got to start, Black Lives Matter is coming out of the woodworks.
mhm,
Antifa is starting to pop up. COVID is starting to become an issue now. Racism is starting to become an issue now. Riots are starting to happen. It must be election season. Yeah. So, but you know what? It actually is pretty cool because you're seeing a lot of people that just aren't buying anymore.
mhm,
All our Christian brothers and sisters, Black communities are just waking up and going, no, there, and it's a call to educate yourself, to be educated, and that's another thing. Don't believe us. Please educate yourself. All right, anything that's going on, the lies of the enemy. Educate yourself, and learn how to say, okay, no, this is either truth or the lie of the enemy, and I need to learn to stand in the truth. So, last one here. Are they barking mad? Hundreds of people who identify as dogs gather to bark and howl at each other in Germany.
ah,
Oh goodness. Okay, so they
ah.
gather together specifically to bark and howl at each other. Okay, that's I'm
Okay,
going to say no.
okay. Remember that guy on YouTube who said that he identifies as an Apache attack helicopter? So
My man.
yeah, if these people, they can identify as dogs, then anybody can identify as anything now, right? So
Yeah.
who's to say that no, you can't do that. You can't identify as that. Why not? You know, people are saying they identify as dogs, so why can't I identify as an inanimate object? You know.
Or the one no that you can't do is identify as another race. Oh, can't do that. Ooh, can't do no, I'm sorry. You can do it as long as you're not white. If you're not
You
white,
can,
if you're
you
white, you
can.
can't do it. Right.
Uh-huh,
But
uh-huh.
yeah, I identify as a young or as a young black girl. That ain't gonna fly. But what was it? Yeah, the attack helicopter thing.
Yep, Apache
I
attack
love that.
helicopter.
That's great. But what's to stop me from saying, okay, why did you shoot everybody? Why did you shoot up the mall or whatever like that? And it's like, well, because I identify as an Apache attack helicopter, and that's just what they do. But they got together to bark and howl at each
Mhm,
other.
mhm.
I'm sorry, guys. If you want to dress up like a dog, that's fine. But I mean, when you start barking and howling at each other, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing with my life? Is this
Yeah,
really where I
yeah.
imagine myself to be?
Mhm,
You know, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I imagined like I was going to be like an astronaut or
mhm.
a police officer or a fireman. All the cool stuff, or a race car driver.
Or a
If I ended up
superhero.
as a
Yeah,
or a superhero,
yeah.
but if I ended up as a dog, as a grown, out of shape, human being, barking at another out of shape human being, I would question my life at that point. I would
Mhm.
question my life.
Question
Why
your,
do
life decisions.
I would have to. But again, the the reason why this is happening is because, just like the Bible says, that it's because they did not keep the knowledge of God within their minds.
Mm,
Because they did not keep the knowledge of God, they were given over to it. They wanted it, and God said, "Okay,
okay.
I give you what you want. Go ahead. I give you a world where you can dress up like a dog and howl at each other. That's what you want. I have given you over to that reprobate mind." And that's what we see on the woke world today. So, what was your cringiest moment? Which one did you really spoke to you? Have you seen any of this craziness in person? I'd like to hear from you down in the comment section. Let us know. We would like to hear from you. And also, what else have you seen? Is there something that we haven't mentioned that you are just like, man, I got to tell these guys, and we would love to do a show on it. So please leave a comment below. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Help us wrestle the algorithm beast down to the ground and help get the word out that we are not only exposing the lies and also, just exposing this woke, crazy, wacky world, but also we want to preach the gospel as well and preach that Jesus is coming. And this is all according to God's plan. So thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one at the Road to Emmaus podcast. See you guys.
Bye.